If you guys are looking for some coins to get the best FIFA 18 squads, then check out mulefactory.com. They're the cheapest site I've found for coins. They deliver in 5 minutes. Now they even pay you back for your card, cover your 5% transfer fee with a brand new player auction wizard. And if you use TGC Kurt5 at checkout, you get 5% off your order. Check them out with the link down below now. What's up guys, Curtis here and welcome to a brand new FIFA 10 to FIFA 18 video, and we are back with a World Cup special. I thought what better way to return and kind of signify kind of why I've been gone than a World Cup special. So obviously I've not re-uploaded all that much last month. I'm not going to be like making excuses. It's just like YouTube's not my priority, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know now. It's not my #1 thing, but I have been enjoying doing it of an evening. But of course the World Cup has been going on for the last month, and that has been I mean, it's just been so damn good. I'm not going to miss the World Cup to make some YouTube videos. So kind of put the YouTube on the back burner for a little bit, but now the World Cup's over, I've got a few evenings a week that I want to kill when I'm sat at home on my own without anything else to do. So without any further ado, we're going to kick this one off by looking at some of my favourite players from this World Cup that have kind of, I wouldn't just say like that have just been my favourites. I don't know what I'm doing now, I'm clicking all over the place, but just players that like have kind of been a bit like WONDERKIDS, that have lived up to a bit of status and stuff like that. I'm going to split this over 2 episodes because I've got like 18 to 20 of them, something like that. But it should be good fun to look back at how they've progressed over the last few years and kind of just get a good look at some of these players. So we're going to kick it off with #1, and I tell you what, he's down on my bench. I'm going to say fair play. Tottenham player, but I have absolutely loved this guy. You may remember in that first episode of that Road to Glory that I was going to do, but then gave up on. 3 goals he scored in 3 games. Great player, love him. But yeah, there's nothing else can be said. He's been fantastic for England this World Cup, and if you think otherwise, you are absolutely mental. But if we look back at his FIFA history, started off, he ended up at Burnley, went there for a few years, obviously moved to Tottenham last year. That card's slowly been rising. I think we can expect to see him at a very solid low 80s next season based on this World Cup and just how well he's done to hold down that Tottenham starting position. Really like the guy, really likeable. Free kicks are fantastic, set pieces in general great. Very gutted that he is a Tottenham player, I will not lie to you guys. Anyway, on to #2, and that is Takeshi Inui. I think that's how you say his name, Inui. I'm not sure, but Takeshi Inui is a lovely little player. You can't do concepts on here. I'm gonna have to go back to the other version of Ultimate Team. Be back in a sec. So I think this may mean that some of the players won't actually be in our squads or available for selection because I don't think every single World Cup player is here. But hopefully we should be fine. But anyway, we'll start off with our mate Inui, and as you can see, Takeshi Inui ended up with a 91 rated card by the end of the season, which is absolutely outrageous. Ibar, Betis cards, we're just chucking his 91 rated card. I think there may be a team of the season as well. I don't really understand exactly what these cards are, but what a tournament this guy had. He was absolutely fantastic. I love the fact that his font on the back of his shirt meant that if you turn his name upside down, it looked exactly the same, which is just brilliant. Started off at Eintracht Frankfurt in FIFA 13. If we move on, he was there for a couple of seasons. Went to, I always mix that up. Is that Ibar? I think that's Ibar. Apologies if I've got that wrong. Must have only been on loan, so he returned to Eintracht Frankfurt. Then went back to Ibar, and then obviously, as we can see in his card now, he's at Real Betis. Let me just check his full history. So he's at Real Betis. It was Ibar, but it just got a little bit confusing with his Frankfurt association. But 31 caps for Japan and 6 goals. A lovely little player, and it was really fun to watch at the World Cup actually, and I'm sure you guys will agree. Move on to #3, and we'll see our man Golovin. Now this guy was fantastic. He was great against Arsenal in the Europa League. That was when he announced himself onto the scene for me. 87 rated is his special card after the tournament, which is fantastic. If we go back to FIFA 16, a lot of talk of him getting a move out of Russia. I don't know if that will materialise. Who knows if it will be this summer or next. But 67 rated Golovin goes up to 70 rated. Then he's a 76 rated card this year, which is absolutely brilliant for his sort of like age. How old is he? Let's have a look. He was born in '96. He's a couple months older than me, which, when I put it like that, actually maybe he's not as young as I thought. But anyway, Golovin, fair play, mate. He's been absolutely fantastic. We're going to move on now to #4, and that is Benjamin Pavard. The right back set this tournament on fire. Nacho scored that screamer at right back. Pavard scored a screamer at right back. Trippier played well at right back. Benjamin Pavard, he's been a right back, he's been a centre back, he's been a little bit of it all. But if we look back to FIFA 16, he was playing for Lille. got moved to Stuttgart last season, and obviously he's been there this year too. They moved him to a centre-back at the start of the year. He's kind of reverted back to right-back. Another player born in '96, and flipping heck, just so sick. Look at those stats. He looks unreal. Imagine packing that card. Unbelievable. Then we're going to move on to number 5, and that is Laxalt. Now, I don't know where I'm going to start putting these players, but Laxalt played as a left-back for Uruguay throughout the majority of the tournament, as you can see by a special card there. Also has a left mid at Genoa. That's kind of where he originates, basically, in club football. But if we look back, FIFA 14, he was a centre mid there. Then he went to Empoli, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's Empoli. Struggle with some of these clubs. Then he went to Genoa. That is Genoa, isn't it? It is Genoa, I thought so, and he was obviously at Bologna for FIFA 14, and then he's been there for a couple of seasons now, and his stats haven't gone up too much, but he's another one of those players that wouldn't be surprised if he earned a move after this World Cup, because his work rate and just general performance for Uruguay was absolutely sensational. The guy was top draw, and one of the many reasons why Uruguay did as well as they did throughout this tournament, because honestly, the pressing, the build-up play, all that just general energy that Uruguay team just possessed, just meant they were so flipping good. We'll go on to number 6 now, and that is Al Dasari, one of the few players from Saudi Arabia to actually do something. I think is it this one? I can't remember which one it is. There we go. That's why I was incredibly confused there. The spelling of his name has changed throughout the last few FIFAs. So we have him here, FIFA 13. As we scroll along, he changes and changes and changes, and then his face changes and his name changes during FIFA 17, which is absolutely bizarre. He was one of the few players, I'm not sure if you guys heard about this, that was sent on loan to Spain to kind of like, they wanted to build up the team ahead of the World Cup, but the problem with that was the players then didn't get any game time, so they were moved out of Saudi Arabia and all their local teams to go to Spain to get some game time, and they were loaned there and didn't get any game time. I think Al Dasari is included within that. Let me double check. I think he was one of the other ones that was loaned too, but he's one of the few that actually made it to the team. Yeah, Villarreal loan, 1 game he played, which is just, it's gutting. After playing at Al Hilal and starting tons of games each season, only got 1 game whilst on loan, so didn't really work out for the Saudi Arabian national team. But I've enjoyed watching him, and he had a good game or two at the World Cup. I'm going to go on to player number 7 now, and this is Gronk. Now, he scored some pens. He was pretty solid at the back. He was part of just a really sturdy Swedish side, and he's got one hell of a card on FIFA. Look at that, 94 rated, 77 pace. I mean, every other stat is 82 or above. You would love to use that. You couldn't link him with anyone playing for Krasnodar, but well, I suppose you'd link him with Golovin, as you can see right there. But yeah, he was decent. But he's a bit of an oldie. How old is he? He was born in 1985, so that makes him 33 years old. And if we look right here, he was at FC Groningen for quite a while. Went to Genoa, as has been exampled by Laxalt, and then he moved to FC Krasnodar, and he's been there for quite some time now. His pace is abhorrently low, but he's made up for it with his special card, this one right here, as we can see. You can't see his head behind me, but he's done well to kind of recover that pace stat over the last couple of years. And yeah, he had a really good tournament. He scored a couple of goals from the penalty spot. As I said, part of that really exciting, well, not exciting, the exact opposite, that really efficient defence that just kept a lot of people out. Didn't quite do as well against England, but yeah, decent tournament from Gronk. Next up, we have Yerry Mina, another player to play against England. He scored 3 goals at the tournament from centre-back, all from set pieces. As you can see, he's obviously at Barcelona now. He's kind of been iced out at Barcelona. Lots of talk of him moving away this summer. Really just hasn't been the luckiest there. They haven't really liked him. But yeah, we can see he ended up with an 88 rated card after the tournament, scored bags of goals, and he's been really exciting. He's still only young. If we look, they signed him in January. He was born in '94, so he's about to turn 24 this later on this year. But 43 pace is very low. I didn't imagine that, but he missed out on FIFA 17. He was at that side. I know it ends in a Fe. It was Santa Fe, I thought so. That's why he then went to Palmeiras last season, and that's where Barcelona have then bought him from. So, but he ends up at Barcelona halfway through this year. But he was at Santa Fe from 2014 to 2016. Went to Palmeiras from 2016 to 2017. Scored 6 in 28 for Palmeiras, which is not bad. But even more incredibly, he's got 6 goals in his last 10 appearances for Colombia, which is just insane. Like, That's a lot of goals. He scored 2 against Cameroon as well in a friendly, which is just fair play. The guy is a goal machine. You can tell being 6'4", he's obviously effective from set pieces, but that is another level. Fair play to Yerry Mina for being that efficient in the box. And then we're going to get on to our last player now, and this is one of my favourite ones. This is Hyeonwoo. Now, he's been a lot of fun. He hasn't been on the game for plenty of years. He's been at Daegu FC the entire time of his career. He's still only 26. He's a youngster. There's like a few different pronunciation of his name, so apologies if I've got it wrong. It's like spelt differently in different ways and all this sort of stuff. But he had a really good tournament. Obviously, if I load him up into the game, which I forgot to do, we'll see he had a couple of cards. I think it's going to be this one. It is this one. And yeah, like he's had his couple of special cards. He ends up with an 88 rated card. Now, I don't know how you'd end up getting this player into squads, but that's like dead exciting, and he's just a really unusual player. And for me, that's just like class for FIFA. And of course, he was part of that team that knocked out Germany with that final game of the group stage. South Korea just pulling off the ridiculous. Sadly, didn't get out of their groups, but they made it interesting. 2 goals in added time. It was a super fun end to that group, and obviously we love seeing the Germans get knocked out. Apologies if there's any Germans watching, but that, guys, brings us to the end of this first episode. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anyone in particular you would like to see in the next episode. Tell me who has been a standout player for you at this tournament. Ones that are a little bit more unusual. Obviously, we're not going to talk about Harry Kane because he was 17-1 to be Golden Boot. That's not the best odds. There's some players that we kind of expected. These are a little bit more of the niche ones that have been a lot of fun for me, that I've really enjoyed at this World Cup, and just have made it such a special World Cup because it's been so good this year, and I'm sure you guys agree. But that's going to be the end of this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed the return. I'll try and get a few videos up this week because I know I've got a little bit of time. But thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.